People gonna probably say about Max Dena, like he hates his life, he's miserable. How you gonna keep yourself from reflecting that from the people
I'm
who
gonna
know?
say I hated it before I was famous. What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you think that's changing? It's nice. Now I don't mean lobster. I mean lobster right now, but no, that'd be tight.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Initially Awkward. It's your boy, Derek Devine, and we are back. We got my boy, Max Dena here.
Well, we're out of time, and though I think you always know, but I feel fine, like I always say I do.
He's an artist, one of the most creative people that I've ever met. Music is super dope. I got a few of his joints in my playlist.
Appreciate it.
For sure. Kind spirited.
Appreciate that, man. I was gonna say you might hear about your brother in one of the stories.
Yeah, man, we definitely got to tap in about him. But
Yeah, man, for sure.
before just getting into it, man, tell me, how you doing, man? How's everything been for you?
I'm well, man. I feel rejuvenated musically for sure. Was taking a while off because I got surgery on my vocal cords actually like 4 months ago, maybe 5 months ago. To where like I couldn't even talk for like a couple weeks, which for like everybody who knows me is like crazy. So it's been nice to have my voice back and I'm feeling good and have been in the studio doing instrumental stuff like on the side while I waited for my voice to get better. And now I'm just like back doing everything. So it feels good. Like I don't even think about it because it's so back, so it's cool.
No doubt. I love it. So I got to kick
Yeah,
it off
man.
with our question, man. Talk to me about the latest or the most iconic awkward moment that comes to mind for you.
It's funny, man, because that's like most moments that I experience in life are awkward, but like that's just life. People are weird. Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. So, like, everybody's expectations of like an interaction or a moment are different. And then you can kind of like, I mean, I don't know. I think most people these days are pretty emotionally intelligent. They see on another person, like, oh shit, was I not supposed to say that? Or even like a small micro, like, response. And you're like, ah, fuck for the rest of the day. Like, maybe they did. And then you talk to someone else and they're like, nah, that's normal. So I think most interactions are. But for me, I'm going to say, oh, man, I think some of the good ones are too painful, but I'll just say even, like, something I deal with every day,
Mhm.
if not every other day, is when you're working just, like, on a song with somebody, and it's just, like, awkward to know, like, when to some people are fully committed, like, "You tell me what I did wrong or what
Yeah.
could be better," and, like, me
Yep.
and my partner, JD Piper, like, we are, "Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Do this other thing." You know what I mean? We're very vocal about it. One of my other mixing engineers, Zay, awesome artist as well, but he's when I'm in the booth, he'll make faces if I'm doing something he doesn't like, and I'll just go, "Okay, do something else." I think there's that, like, really constant awkward interplay of, like, how
Yeah.
much can I criticize your stuff? Are you open to not criticize, but, like, help make better? Whatever it is, you know? How much are
Right.
you open to collaboration? Because I think art is a very sensitive place, bro. And everybody's like, I'm so ready to like put this out. And then someone's like, what if you did this? And you're like, shut the fuck up. It's ready. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it happens every day. But I'd say that's the most frequent one that I have a lot. Yeah.
I totally feel you on that. Being an artist, man, I had my quick stint in being an artist. It's a tough gig, man. But for you, being as creative as you are, because you are super creative, does that impact you when you are collaborating? If somebody is putting in their input or telling you to go left, and you're like, nah, I like it sounding like this. I know you got a really good relationship with your engineer, but how does that work when you got a creative direction? He probably has a creative direction. How does the whole collaboration come together?
That's a great question. That's a really good question. And also, thank you for the great introduction. I very much appreciate it. I was late on that. But yeah, I feel like the creative interplay is different with everybody. So it's kind of like you got to tread lightly at first for a real long time. I think it's really important
Mm,
because the the worst thing you can do in a session is fuck the vibe up if it was going well. Like,
yeah,
even if it's not, like, you could start a fight. I've been in sessions where people were about to fight. We separated and then everyone was cool after. But you know what people are not cool with is when someone throws the vibe off and it's like just kind of like under the skin level. Like, it's just a little bit in there because now you just don't want to be there anymore. And it's not like there's a reason you don't want to be there. It's just like, what are we doing? So I think it's really important to treat everyone's artistry like it's perfect
yep.
for a long time because they want it to be perfect. And I'm the type of person who, like, I don't fucking know everything. So just because I don't necessarily like something that someone does doesn't mean someone else won't like it. A lot of people fucking don't like what I do a lot of the time. And I
Yeah.
think it's important to tell someone, but be aware of how they might take it. And some people are like, I don't care how they're going to take it. And that's cool. But like, those people are hard to work with. You know what I mean? So yeah, tough.
I wanna go back. How did you get into music? Were you always and your sound is so different. So in my mind, I'm thinking you've been perfecting your sound since you was probably like 3, but talk to us a little bit about how did you even get into making music? And then, how did you develop the style, the unique style that you come out with?
I'll do my best to make this a reasonably short answer. But my pops was a musician. When I was growing up, like literally like when I was in diapers, I'd be at shows.
Yeah.
He was a bassist and a guitarist in different bands, a vocalist in some other ones. But he had like his own interest in like certain styles and stuff like that to like
Yep.
start both questions. But it's funny because he like hated the Beatles and thought they were like overrated. And he would literally in our house be like, no Beatles. So I didn't hear the Beatles till I was in like high. And it wasn't like weird. He was just like, nah, they suck. And so I just never listened to him. And then in high school, I listened, someone played the Beatles and I was like, who is this? Someone was like, are you serious? And I was like, I'm not like, I didn't know who they were, but I didn't know that song was them. It was great, man. So I think it was an interesting like interplay of learning a lot about like old rock and old punk and stuff like that. And that was like a lot of my growing up. And my sister was really into punk. And then I kind of got into like a lot of reggae and ska with my friends. And like a lot of Cali shit. Like I think if we're blending into the genre thing, I would say like one of my biggest influences is Sublime. And I think there's just something about that living in California thing. I don't know. There's like a way that you grow up experiencing the world that somehow it's like comes through. For me, it comes through it comes through a sunshine. Like I feel like I'm bringing out warmth and sunshine. And I think my
No doubt.
voice and my like existence and the way I was raised and stuff and this type of vibe that I like and stuff like that all kind of works into that. It's funny because I don't really listen to like all the jazzy stuff that I'm more into now till I was older. But I mean, that's how music interest progresses. But yeah, I would say style wise, heavily influenced by like Cali reggae, early 90s, New York hip hop. I mean, I don't sound like them for sure. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where like sometimes we'll make a beat and we'll be like, yo, this is so hard. And we'll look at each other and go, I'm not cool enough for this. You know what I mean? Like my life isn't interesting enough for this beat. I just mean like there's certain types of beats. I need an accent. I need to be from fucking Brooklyn, man.
I would say this, any beat that I've seen, I've not heard one bad song. And if I have, I would tell you like, yo, I ain't feeling that.
Yeah,
For
yeah, sure.
you, it's
Appreciate
so
it.
different. And it's not normally I don't even know what I would normally listen to. I would probably say I lean probably more towards like maybe like Common or
Sure.
like I guess conscious rap is what they call it. But your
Yeah.
style, I when you say it exudes like sunshine, like that is legit it.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
so where are you from originally?
Right here, Pasadena. Born and
Pasadena.
raised. Yes, sir.
Did that influence,
Um,
your musical style out there? I don't know much about Pasadena, but
I
what's it
would say having grown up with like a community of homies who all lived up on Concha, like I got it's funny because like the homies who speak Spanish know this means something else. And it's like it's like derogatory, but at the time, my homie lived on a street called Concha. And that was like our thing was everybody's like, all right, what are we doing tonight? Everyone say Concha. We show up there, a bunch of different musicians and just bands formed out of that. So I'd say like I don't think necessarily Pasadena itself, like as a place, shaped my, musical journey, but the people in it for sure, and Altadena, obviously. But yeah, so
I love that, and so I know we mentioned my brother at the beginning. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I understand the background.
uh-huh.
You was going to USC for social work, right?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how you get down that path? You're going for social work, and then are you I don't think you in social work now, you just doing the artist thing.
No, yeah, my mom's a social worker, and
Okay,
I
got
was
you.
I was gonna become a MFT, which is like a therapist,
Yeah,
but like specifically therapy. But everyone who's like a LCSW, which is licensed clinical social worker, was like, nah, take this, then you can get different jobs. There's like multiple jobs with this versus MFT is just a therapist. And I was like, for sure, but I wanted to be a therapist, so I should have listened. Then COVID hit mid semester. I think I did 1 year out of the two, and then yeah, I just said, "Fuck this." I mean, honestly, what happened was they gave me my, placement, and it was the suicide hotline,
ooh,
and it was during COVID, and
yeah,
I said to them, I was like, "How many, like, calls do we take?" I was asking them a lot of questions that they skirted every question I gave him, and I was just like, this is not for me. You know what I mean? Like, if there's not going to be like an open relationship of how this is going to go, it's just not for me. So yeah, I broke off. But the cool thing about that whole experience was it was so worth it because I met your brother, because we did a project and we all had to show our projects on the screen. So we were doing that, and I went over to him after, and I was like, "Yo, that was really cool." He's like, "Nah, it wasn't anything." We were just kind of getting to know each other. Maybe like hadn't talked really in any class before besides like, "Hello, what's up?" I'm this person because the teacher made us say our names or whatever.
Right.
And we probably had like a 5-minute conversation. And he was like, "Yo, I'm going to the studio right now. You want to come with me? Like, you seem chill. You said you do music. What do you think?" And we're at USC, so it's just like 5 minutes out. It's South Central, and he was like, I'm gonna be there for like the next few hours if you decide you want to come. And I was like, fuck, man, I have class for the next 3 hours. And so I said no, and he actually left. And I was sitting there in my class for this thing that I ended up not even wanting to do anyway, and I was hating it. And the teacher was literally like showing us Facebook posts and stuff. Like, it was not like conducive to like my future. And I went, that session with your brother is conducive to my future. Like, some felt wrong about being in that room. So I dipped out, and he sent me the address, and it was so funny, bro. Cause at the time, and it's still the studio I go to this day. They've been up and up and up and now they're a whole label and everything. But it was literally
Yeah.
someone's back house in an alley full of crackheads. And I parked there, and it was so funny because I'm calling him and he's in a session, so he's not answering. And I'm just standing there just waiting by this address that he told me. And there's just this crackhead just inching towards me. And I was like, "What's up, man?" And then right at that moment, he opened the gate, and I was dying laughing, dude. Even like the house that they lived at, or the house that it was behind, there was a lady with a baby, and she would just come out and stare at us because she was like mad that it was happening because it was probably loud or whatever. And I feel bad, but it was just like a weird vibe. But damn, we made some good music, bro. And I came in there, and your brother fucking spit a verse for, I think it was his album Popcorn.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I'd never heard a human being who I like knew in person sound that good. And I told him straight out, I was like, "Yo, we need to make a song. Like, you changed my whole life," or whatever. I started trying to spit freestyles for the engineer so that he would like let me hop on the session.
Right.
And your brother was trying to let me, he was like, "No, get him in there." But he had to finish his shit. But that worked out. Cause that night I went home, and he told me how he got his beats and stuff. Cause I'd never done that before like that. Me and my homies always just wrote the whole thing, but my homies were busy. So bought the beat, wrote the song, and that's my most popular song to this day, the one that I wrote that night and one night. And your brother, I texted him halfway through. I said, "It's 2 a.m. I haven't eaten all day. I can't finish this song." And he texted me back, "Finish the song." he said, "Eat some food, then finish the song."
That
And
sound
that's
like
literally
it.
the second verse starts with oh shit, what is it? Bison steaks and Captain Planet at the mid, man, he demanded. Cause I ate
Man,
bison steaks after he told me to eat.
and is this fine? Is that the record fine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
First song I ever made. I mean, not first song I ever made like as an artist, but like
Yeah.
with like the new direction, like after meeting him and knowing like, oh, I could do this as a solo artist. I don't need a full band right now. Like,
Yeah.
and COVID had just started, so it was perfect. So yeah, man.
Man,
He played a huge role.
I love that, man. So initially awkward is really for those people who are sitting in that proverbial classroom and they're like,
Yeah.
"I should be starting that business, that restaurant, or I should be starting that business somewhere, that podcast." Or so,
Mm-hmm.
what advice, man, do you have for those people that sit in that same classroom that you were sitting in and
Mm-hmm.
have dreams of being outside of this desk, outside of this room, but I'm scared. I'm scared
Mm.
because I don't know, maybe my mom expects me to be here. Maybe my dad drew up the plan for me, and how did you come to that point, and what advice would you give to somebody that's looking to do exactly what you did in that moment?
I would say first is first. Like, everybody's situation is going to be like different, and I wouldn't say that like my advice that I'm about to give will work for everybody, but I'll say that what I came to learn I was doing already, but what now I do consciously, it's like something I kind of tell myself all the time is, do you want to do this or do you not want to do this? And I think that question isn't like, it's not a one thought thing. Like, it's not like there's a popsicle in front of me. Do I want a popsicle or not? It's like, nah, do I have to eat dinner after this? Is it hot outside? I mean, I'm saying there's other questions that surround this thing. And I think to that person sitting in the classroom, it's like, boy, if you want to start your restaurant, start that shit. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where like, well, but is this thing you're in right now going to benefit your restaurant later? Because I think I've made a lot of too quick decisions that served an artistic purpose, but not an artistic end. because I would do something because I felt very passionate about it, but in
Yep.
the end, I didn't finish it because I didn't put in the work that was necessary. I just went with that burst of like adrenaline or creativity,
Yeah.
dopamine, whatever it was.
Right.
And so I think you really got to think about it. And the thinking part's hard. The thinking part hurts a little bit, especially if it's, I mean, it's not, especially if it's art, it's all art, right? I mean, literally math used to be art, like to some extent you're making shapes, figuring
Yeah.
out how they work. And, you know, I just think, don't put too much pressure on yourself is number one, which is like the funniest statement because now you got to put pressure on yourself to not put too much pressure on yourself.
Right. It's funny how that
Um,
works.
yeah, the therapists love that one. They're like, "It sounds like you're being hard on yourself." It's like, no shit. Like, how do you stop doing that? I remember Tyler the Creator came out with a quote recently where someone said, like, "How do you stop the negative thoughts?" And he said, I just don't have them. I don't allow them into my consciousness." And I
Yeah.
remember I commented on that shit and I was like, "How the fuck do you
How?
do
Like,
that?"
teach me how
Like,
to do that. That's the
yeah,
problem.
exactly. Good for you. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. But what the fuck? Like, show me. Like, that'd be amazing to turn it off. But yeah, man, it's just the self-doubt is crazy. I think it's kind of like a natural artist thing to have imposter syndrome. Everyone talks about having imposter syndrome, but
Yeah.
no one really talks about it being like they say like everyone has it. It's cool, but they don't really talk about how to shake it. Because once you have it, the only thing people really do is they say, it's fine. Everyone has that. But I think it's really important to say, no, like you make art, go make the art. We have a short life. Like I always think of this sentence too, which is like, what's my statue? Like I used to sit on those park benches that have people's names on them and stuff and go like, who is this? And people would always say like, why do you read those? And I'm like, I don't know. Someone cared enough to like put this here and like
Wow.
literally say like, I want a bench. There's a hospital I went to visit a family member in recently, and they had a statue of just a man and a wife holding hands. And it
Yeah.
was a guy who had, been involved in the hospital. And I was like, that's beautiful. He wanted this. And I think sometimes, like, what do I want my statue to be? Like, I don't want an actual statue, but if I could touch someone's life or like bring a thought into someone's mind at like a time that was difficult, that was helpful to them,
Yeah.
that's, or even just a feeling, not even a thought, but just a feeling. So, yeah.
Man, I love that, man. I
Hmm.
want to go back, man. Something you said was interesting about the Tyler, the Creator, uh,
Mm-hmm.
just not letting those negative thoughts get to his mind. This is
Yeah.
a personal question for me. You seem like you every time I see you or see you on the gram or just see you in person, you always exude like positive energy. Do you get angry? Do you get like I never see that. It's probably just something I don't see in my limited time. But you just seem like you are
Sure.
ill all the time.
I really appreciate you saying that. But it's funny. This is like this brings me to this really powerful moment that happened. I think I was 16 and I went to visit my cousins in Portland and he was having band practice at his friend's house. And I had been like so enthralled by like, he lives in this cool music city, in this cool music scene, and everyone's an artist. And I was so hyped on it.
Yeah.
And there was a dude just like me. And I literally think about this dude, I would say every single day, because it was such a moment for me that like it changed the way I viewed the world completely. His name was Alex. He still, I mean, it is Alex. He's still out there. Alex, shout out. I met you
Yeah.
that one time. You probably don't remember me, but I remember this every day of my life. He said, or he was so nice. And at one point I said, hey man, I just wanted to say like, you are so positive and it means so much to me that you're like putting out so much positivity because it like
Yeah.
makes me feel better. And his response was, thanks. It's really hard. And I just got chills even like saying that because it was
Wow.
not what I fucking expected, even a little bit. And it was like, he took his mask off and he was in pain, and that's not what I thought was happening at all.
Yeah.
And I think what I learned is like it's not worth it to put that shit out to other people. Like the people who I would say are like maybe like, they know everything about me ever.
Mhm.
The like the tightest of the tight people, they'll be able to read certain things and be like, yo, what's actually going on or whatever. But like,
Right.
why not go have a good day? Why not try to smile at the dude who isn't smiling and maybe they'll smile back or whatever, and now their day is better. So I think it taught me a lot about looks not being like not looks, but like looks can be deceiving about like emotional weight and stuff like that. Because I really was like, this is the most positive guy I've ever met, and
Right.
his first words were like, thanks. It's like really difficult to do this, and I was like, oh my god. And he wasn't like there wasn't a break after. There wasn't like a odd, but it's cool. It was just like that, and then we stopped talking, and I was like, oh. Okay, and so that was a kind of a growing up moment too. It was really interesting, but I think about that all the time, and I say it is hard, but like every time I'm thinking it's hard, it's like, but it's not their, not their problem, but like it's not anyone's, it's not even my problem. It's just, it
Mm.
shouldn't be a problem. Let's just let it go. And I don't always do that, but I try to tell myself that.
Man, and you exude that, man. I would say
Thanks, man.
for that how Alex was an inspiration to you, I can almost guarantee you are somebody's Alex. I'm telling even for me, when I
Thanks,
look
man.
at you, man, if I'm coming across a video or if I see a post, I'm like, "Man, he having a good time." Like, whatever he doing and the fact that I know the story about you being
That's cool,
in
man.
school and pursuing your dream. So you're an inspiration
Yeah.
just like Alex was, man. You
Thanks,
doing
man.
your thing.
Appreciate it.
I do wanna talk a little bit I know you say your pops was in music.
Yeah.
Um what kind of music did you say he did?
It was like rock, kind of like, I mean, whatever the kind of like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of like butt rock, what's described as butt rock, but I hate that title because they said it's from the radio, it was nothing but rock. And so it's kind of like a
Oh,
joke, whatever, but that was the time. I mean, it's cool. Like, it's funny. Like a lot of their old album covers are like one they're wearing on my like toy, like they have like my police helmet on or something like that. That I have the Power Rangers gun or some shit like that. So
yeah.
it's just always been interwoven in my life. But yeah, like rock music. But he used to play at the House of Blues and the Roxy, whiskey and all that. So I just grew up on the Sunset Strip and at colleges that they were playing at and stuff like that. So the life just like was already like these were
Yeah.
both his. I
Oh, okay.
remember him finding this one
Yeah,
at a garage sale for like $100 or $50 or something. And it's like a vintage Gibson acoustic hollow body, which all those words together mean it's very cool.
yeah,
And yeah, so like a lot of just history of my life and like even all the gear that I use and stuff like that is like handed down and very part of like this lineage of music that feels, I guess I don't even think about it because it feels so just normal.
yeah. Man, no, I know he'd be proud of you doing your thing,
Thanks,
man,
man.
rocking out.
Appreciate that.
Man, I know you mentioned you, went through a bit of a struggle. You lost your voice, you went through the
Yeah.
surgery. Man, how did you cope? 'Cause if you're supposed to be in the studio making music, that's your life. What did you do or, how did that work?
Yeah, it was tough, bro. We didn't even realize what was happening at first because like I was a teacher for 3 years, and
Mhm.
when you'd work the yards for like lunch duties and stuff like that, a lot of times you'd be yelling. I mean, even just in the classroom, you're yelling a lot,
Right.
and so I would lose my voice a lot in studio sessions, and it started feeling weird, like not as normal losing it. Like it was like I would have one studio session and lose it, or even just like a night with my friends, or we go to a show and I'd sing the lyrics like of the other person's song, no voice the next day, like totally gone, maybe even 2 days.
Wow.
So at a certain point, I went to the homie JD's crib where there was a studio at the time, and it was out in the desert. And I kept saying like, "Nah, it must just be the desert air. Something's up."
Mhm.
But he was like, "You should probably just get it checked out, whatever." He was giving me like mullein leaf and all these like extracts and stuff like that.
Right.
But he's like, you should go to a real doctor also. And so I went to my doctor, and he was like, oh yeah, you have like, they put a camera down my throat, and they were like, yo, you have like a straight up like basically it's called a polyp, weird word, whatever. It just meant that I had torn my vocal cords at some point, and it basically healed, so it was like a scar. But it was like really in the way, and he said that your vocal cords do this, and if one of them can't move, one of them's doing all the work. So that's why my throat would hurt so bad, because one was like, it's like telling one of your arms to do all the workout, all
Yeah.
the curls that you normally do with two. So it would just hurt. It just fucking hurt, dude. And that was the worst thing, because it was like it would go into my ears and stuff. So I didn't even want to be at the studio because all the vibration and stuff. So it really, really put me through a weird ringer of music. Was like it was a weird relationship of I was trying to get as humanly possible done before the surgery because I would have
Mhm.
to be out, but also like not like it hurt every single time. My homie RZN, the one that has developed into this beautiful studio now, um, he was saying to me like, "Are you sure like you want to record this?" And I was like, "Yes," because like literally he could fuck up and my voice doesn't work anymore after this. Like I didn't
Well,
know what it was. They
wow.
also didn't know if it was cancer or not at the time, and it's not. Thankfully, they made
Yeah,
sure it's
thank God.
not. But it was
Wow.
just one of those things, man. It was one of those weird things where I wanted to do so much, but it was also like 10 times harder to do it.
Right.
But I do feel really proud because we made like even the one I just released last week, I think it was last Wednesday, did it right before my surgery. I'd say like a week before. You could hear it. You can hear that it's right before the surgery, but it really like was a time in my life that I'm gonna be not only like I'm gonna look back on it and be like that was bad, but I'm also gonna be proud of because I feel like I put in more work in that time than I have in a long time, and it was harder than it's ever been. So yeah, kind of taught me to just suck it up too, just do shit.
Man.
So that's been really cool.
Man, I think being an artist, a rap artist, hip hop artist, whatever,
Yeah.
that's a tough, tough gig, man. Talk to me a little bit about how do you keep going, man? You got sometimes you might have the support that you want, sometimes you might not have it. Maybe you're doing these shows and there's not as many people there. What keeps you going in the midst of all that?
It's funny, 'cause I just can't stop. Like, I've said to my wife so many times, bro, I've been like, "Yo, I think I'm good. Like, I think I'm done." It's just, like, kinda it's burning me out. Like, I just need to focus on getting a career or whatever. And she'll be the one who literally goes like, "Don't, like, stop. Like, I have to go to the same job every single day forever because I did this one thing. You can do whatever you want. Like, I don't care." That's why she's an amazing partner, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's a tough gig to, like, I think, it's my cousin's a comedian. He's really funny. Just check him out. Matthew Coe, really fucking funny. He's about to be in the Netflix is a Joke festival. Super dope
Okay.
dude. But he told me, or me and him were talking about art basically, and how art's crazy because you want to share it with someone so bad, but like it's also we're trying to like somehow make money off it. So we're like giving it away and at the same time trying to make money off it. And there's this weird interplay of like, I, I don't care if I make money off of this. Like it's literally like I just have to do this. Like, and Erica Badu had a really cool quote a long time ago. She said, I don't know, I guess I don't know when the interview was, but the video I saw a while back was her saying, like, I would be sick if I didn't do this. I have to get this out of my body. Like it is a it is a substance that I have to do something with, or it will rot me from the inside out. So like it's not hard to keep doing this at all. It's just hard to like do the other stuff that you have to do to keep doing this. You know what I mean? And my steps for that are just, I mean, I personally have a very, very cool setup. Like I have a wonderful partner. I have like two adorable little dogs that we love. You know what I mean? Like I got a studio that I get to make music in. I have a job that I really like that I do on the side to make enough money to do this. Um, so like I don't have advice.
I think the advice that you gave without directly giving it is that you would feel sick, like kind of what Erica Badu said. You would feel sick
Yeah,
if you didn't get that art out or get that whatever that is that's bubbled up inside of you. And I think that is something for anybody watching to take heed to that because I feel like even for myself, not
yeah,
doing what I'm supposed to be doing, it's probably not sickness, but I got frustration, internal frustration that
yeah.
I'm showing up in everywhere else in my life, but I'm not showing up in a place that I feel I'm being called to, and it just brings frustration.
Well, you're not showing up for you.
Not
You're
sure,
showing up for
yeah,
everyone else.
showing up
Yeah,
for and
yeah.
honestly, it's not good because then I
Mm-mm.
start giving that bad energy because 'cause I'm blaming everybody, so I think to what you're saying is, it didn't matter if it's 5,000,000 people in the stands or 2 people in the stands, you're gonna be out there giving it
Yeah.
100% because
Oh yeah.
it's just gonna be what's in you, and I love
Yeah. Thanks, man. A quick little tidbit. It was funny, man. I remember I was playing a show with some people who were more popular than me. Is the best way to explain that. And they had invited a bunch of artists to play this big show, and no one came. But like for me, that's like I've literally played to empty rooms my my entire life, and they were having to do this big explanation. All these dudes who are kind of like, they're good, they're artists. I'm not taking anything away from them, but
yeah.
they're like worried about their followings, the people they told to come. They don't have any content and stuff like that. And I remember going, y'all, this is fine. Like everything's fine. This means they were like apologizing to me is what I'm saying, whoever set it up. And I was like, this was always one of the possibilities. Like this is always a possibility. And I think it was just interesting to see. What I'm saying, man, is that like it's hard to say what to do because if I think I kind of just grew up. I'm not saying like I grew up hard, but I grew up experiencing things a certain way a lot of times that just like now is how I do it also. Or if
Yeah.
it made me learn that that's not, these people are not going to help me. I need to do not these people from the story, but I'm saying like this person in my example is not going to help me. This person over here has nothing to offer me. This person here wants to help me, but I'm actually kind of like taking them away from what they're trying to do.
Mm.
So is me helping them even good for them? So there's a lot of like interplay in this weird artist thing where everyone's got a vision. You know what I mean? And I think it's really helpful to have your vision be like open to being kind of worthless. And I don't think my vision's worthless, but it's open. You need to be open to someone believing it is because that's going to happen every day. And if you don't believe that, it's going to really hurt. It's going to hurt when someone says it because you're like, what do you mean? It's going to be like that Alex guy saying life's really hard. You're going to go, what do you mean my vision doesn't speak to you? Like that's not what I thought it was going to be like when I showed it to you. And I think just showing people music my entire life from when I was like 3 years old to being an adult, you just learn some people are faking it and that's cool. They're sweet. They love you. Some people really fuck with it. Some people fuck with it too much and they'll hit you up constantly and they're awesome. Those people are who you need. Every artist needs those fans. I love y'all. But
Yeah.
it's a trip because some people just want to just hit you up or like talk to you or do whatever. And I'm the type of person I'm like, send me shit. Let's make a song. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't charge for, I mean, maybe this will change by the time this interview's out, but I'm saying I don't charge. I really don't charge for features. I've never charged for a feature in my life. And like, I feel like I'm at a place where I absolutely could. Like, I feel like I've been at a place where I could. I feel like I'm at a level where I could, like talent wise also. But if you want to make a song that you show me and I like and you made and I want to help you make, I don't give it. I'm not going to make money off this. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay me money. It's probably like a couple $100 anyway. What is that? Like a fucking couple McDonald's burgers nowadays? Like, it's crazy, bro. The world's nuts. So I just think like the world's hard, bro. If artists want to make art and you connect in any way, shape, or form, you should link.
I knew you was a dope person, but I didn't know you was a philosopher as well, man. When I tell you, you just dropped so many gems. One of the things that resonated with me, you said you got to be open to your art being considered worthless to people,
Yeah.
which is absolutely. I don't think I have not come across any artist that was that aware.
Mm.
Everybody think I'm the best thing since sliced bread. It's the best song. It's the best movie. It's the best podcast. They
How
don't
are
even.
you ever going to get better then if you're the best
Man.
ever?
And I feel like a lot of artists say, like,
Yeah.
that's the thing that gives you my edge. Like, then they say that the thing that gives me my edge is that I'm the best, that nobody's better than me,
Yeah.
like playing sports. But I'm
Sure.
like, that self-awareness that you have, I think that's a healthier way to go about it because it invites collaboration.
I hope so.
Yeah. No
It
doubt.
has been, I feel like it's been a door opener. I'll say that. You know what I mean? I can't say whether it's like right or wrong, but it has been something that makes me make not only like musical connection, but like friends, like lifelong friends, you know? So I think that, and people, not like, not just friends, but like someone who for the rest of my life now will collaborate with me on the same basis that I just described, like without a monetary thing. And now like I'm at a place where like, I'm an adult, like you're an adult, so I pay my people even when they say don't pay me. You know what I mean? Like that's just my thing. But I think there is something to a person who's willing to give you that because they like love you as a person, not only as an opportunity or
Mhm.
something that's gonna a stepping stone to the next thing. And I think that it's a good way of weeding that crowd out a little bit. Is making. I mean, how long can you hang around before someone's like not just trying to work on that thing with you? Like, I'm gonna kick it with you because we're homies. You know what I mean? And then the music will come. Music probably came the first time, but I'm saying I'm not like it doesn't end there for me, I guess is what I'm saying. Like I'm ready to hear I'm ready to hear what you got next. Like what what have you been working on since I last saw you? You know what I mean? Like put it
Yeah.
on. Let's make something. So um I think it's just really important to be open to the possibility that you're not it. And but not it for just like everybody who exists, but for this
Right.
part, like what they grew up with, what they like, you might not be the thing. I mean, it's just not. It's just a fact. I mean, literally, like you just said it. Yeah, people just aren't gonna fuck with everybody.
Yeah.
So don't get hurt. Don't get hurt by that. It only gonna hurt your process, your personal process. So
That I feel like that's a good tip for the initially awkward
yeah,
phase, man. If you're going into it thinking they're gonna love me right off the bat, kind of tailor those expectations. It's not a bad thing. It's a
yeah,
level of and a level of realness. I think knowing that there's options and I just went for ice cream earlier and
yeah.
everybody in line got different flavors because we all like different things. So I think that's
Exactly. You take a poll of which one's the best flavor. I bet you literally won't have two of the same answers. You know, so it's a crazy thing to be like, and also like, let's say you got two or three. Is that the best flavor? How many people were in the thing? How many people go per day? There's all these factors, and I think that if you don't accept that, well, because I think there's two aspects of it. I think that you should be critical of your shit if you think that if you're open to the possibility of making it better. I think you should be critical of your shit, be open to when someone says something, even if they only listen to country music, but they went, I didn't like when that horn came in. A lot of fucking people might not like when that horn comes in. And I think like that saying like so that's what I'm saying is I don't want to sell the idea of don't listen to anybody. Listen to fucking people, but also don't let it hurt your feelings. Let it help you. Literally, if someone also says like I like this and you know that they like whack ass music, you change that. Like I've done that before where someone says they like something and I know what they listen to and I go, I'm changing that part. I
Crack
don't
the
want
whole
you to
thing.
like it. Right. So it works on both ways. And I'll hear it too sometimes and even be like, oh, that was corny or whatever. And then I'll hear the same line that I heard last week that was corny and go, that's a good fucking line. Maybe I'm a bitch for like tripping out on myself, but you're always trying to make sure that you are not just giving your like a mid performance. Like it's art, bro. It literally imagine that like right before an art show, the artist made all the paintings right then. It's like, no, it's not going to have the same artistic qualities if he did it for however long he wanted it to be, and then he puts it out. But I think this world we're living in right now, it's like put it out, make a reel, do an ad for the reel. Now you got to do Facebook ads, you got to get Google ads. Do you have your YouTube set up? How about your TikTok? What's your link to your Twitter? And I'm like, we're still using like all the pages are like, what's your Twitter? And I'm like, I made one because something made me one, but like, what is the point of this? I think I do way more non-art things than art, most most of the time. So it's a weird balance, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
It is. It is, man. Let a couple more questions for you, man. In this initially awkward stage, a lot of the people that I come in contact with, I like to ask them, what's your sentence? And when I'm asking what's your sentence, that's pretty much what's the words, phrases, the sentences that you string along that keep you internally captive. And it's not about somebody else putting you in a mental jail. Do you have any of those mental things that keep you captive that you tell yourself?
I think the like special ones are kind of like the ones I told you earlier, like that it's hard and stuff like that. But I mean, that one's not like a sentence. I'd say if it's a sentence, it's funny enough. So the reason I wrote fine is like it's fine. And I really if you fuck with that song, and I don't mean you, I mean anybody who's out there. If anybody fucks with that song, fine. I love that song. Fine by Max Dena, check it out. But I'm saying if you fuck with that song, you know what I'm really saying in there is that like I'm not fine. Like that's literally the whole point of the song is we're out of time. Like we all or sorry, I say I'm fine like I always say I do. What does that mean? I always say that. What do you think that means anything different? I'm not gonna say like I'm actually not good. Like I think of course you can say that, but like the general response to anybody who, especially like a first meeting, like you say an awkward meeting, hey, how you doing? You don't fucking know that person. You're like, I'm actually doing really fucking bad. You're not gonna make a friend right there. I mean, maybe you will, but like for the most part, that's not conducive to a good social interaction. And maybe that's unhealthy. I don't know, but that's our culture right now, like as a society. So I think what's important is to understand also though, and I think why I'm saying this is that like, while that song is about like I'm not actually fine or whatever, it's fine is kind of the one thing that I have to say to myself almost as like a little like I'll be about to trip out about something like everybody does, you're kind of ramping yourself up, you're thinking about it more. And I have to literally just be like, it's fine. Put a cap on it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not speaking to like that, or I'm not saying that this isn't like, this is kind of like hiding your demons, right? This is kind of like suppressing your demons and putting them down, which is not good for you in the long run. But that's where you use therapy and use your friends and use those moments. But I do think that there's a scariness to life that is just gonna be there, bro. Like
Yeah.
car accidents are scary because you could do everything right and someone else is fucking up. Animals are scary because they're fucking just eating each other. That's why nature's metal as fuck. But I think that to some degree, you got to keep yourself calm. Like I was saying, like you don't want to obstruct someone's artistic thing and like fuck them up. You don't want to fuck your own day up by like being like, oh no, things are fucked up. But they might be fucked up, but like is thinking, oh no, they're fucked up helpful in any way, shape, or form?
Never has been helpful. No.
It's never been helpful. And I remember one time I was talking to my wife about it. She's like, but that's not that's not how people work. And I'm like, yeah, but I have to like lie to myself. So, I mean, it's like they say if you fake smile, it actually makes you happier because it provides dopamine to your brain. So we'll jokingly, like if we're having a bad day, be like, all right, fake smile for 5 seconds or whatever. And we'll do it, but it works. You'll start like laughing and be like, what are we doing? This is stupid. But like something's happening that makes your brain change. And I think it's kind of something like that. It's a little bit of like it's like when you're on a hike and you need a snack to get you to the end of the hike. You know what I mean? Your blood sugar's low or whatever. You got to keep yourself level. You got to keep yourself at a place where you feel safe and happy and like you're pursuing something that matters, whether that's God, whether that's music, whether that's art, whether that's your job. Some people just fucking love their jobs. I love that for them. Whatever you like to do, use the moments that are tough to think about those moments that are good. We as a people think, if I asked you like, what are your most like distinct memories? I would throw a bet that they're bad memories. I feel like bad memories stick with us longer. I'm not saying they are. I don't hope they are, but we just remember stuff in a weird way that like puts a lot of pressure on us in a negative way, that stunts our growth. And I think it's just really, important to be aware of all of the obstacles that you're going to face. And like, I work with kids a lot. I like do a lot of tutoring. And what I always say is, if you ever played Mario, because a lot of kids have played Mario, let's say, you remember when you first fell, what did you do the second time after you died and you went back and you played it again? They said, I jumped over. And I was like, yeah, you wouldn't have known you were going to fall if you didn't fall, because they didn't show you the hole. You just were going and all of a sudden there was a hole and you had to remember there's a hole there. I bet you fell the second time even when you tried to jump. You knew there was a hole and you still tried to jump. They're like, yeah, I fell. Or like, I got killed by this thing. Right. Because that's how you're supposed to learn how to jump over it. You're not just supposed to know immediately. You got to fall a couple times. And I know that's like such a commonly said thing, but people don't break that down and think like, okay, the failure is the teacher. Like, the failure is the teacher. So you got to fail a lot to do anything right. And I think that's kind of even what the dude was saying. Like, I got to be upset a lot to want to be happy. And so I try to be happy because it's better. So it's just, yeah, you can learn so much from failure. So, and just opposites. Yeah. So.
Nah, I love it, man. I love it. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Max Dena?
That's crazy. That's a crazy question. Another one. Just a dude. I mean, I think that's kind of what I'm saying this whole time, is I'm just some dude. And I think if you kind of like get that, you'll like the music, because I feel like almost all the songs are about that. I remember one time someone said, what's this one about? Because we were writing together. And I was like, oh, pretty much every single one is just like self-reflection, kind of saying I'm a piece of shit. Like just like, it's like a lot of like self-deprecation and being upset with myself. And they were just like, all right, for sure. But like, that's what it is. So who am I? I'm a dude who thinks a lot about himself and how I exist. I think that's like really all I got. I think we're all doing that. But I mean, I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a person who tries their best, I guess. I really do try, and it's really hard. Thank you, Alex. It is really hard. But yeah, man. I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude who tries.
We gonna let you get up out of here, but before man, anything that you got coming up? I know you say you just dropped a joint, which I'm probably gonna tie it to this video, but anything else you're going and that we can look forward to?
Yeah, man. So like about a month ago, I dropped a really cool song called Heaven on a album with my homie High Tone.
I like that one.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, the homie High Tone's really good too. So it's been fun to make music with him. Our styles go together well. Just dropped one with the homie Vincent Angelo. Me and him are working on like a little duo project called 2 Blocks, I think it's going to be called.
Okay.
But we just dropped a single under my name right now with him featured. That one's called I'll Be There. Really fuck with that one. I like that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then my homie JD Piper and I are dropping our full studio length album on 420 called Hydro, which your brother is on. He's on the song with a verse, and he's also sampled on the song Headroom, but he's also on Hydro, the title track. So that's gonna be really cool. I know he's coming down a little bit. We're gonna try to link up, so it's gonna be cool, man. See if we can add anything to the album, a little bonus, maybe a year out or something, extras. But yeah, man, Hydro's the big one coming up. So look out for Hydro on 420 with JD Piper, Max Dena. Appreciate you.
No doubt, man. And again, appreciate you being on the pod. Man, you definitely got to come back and probably premiere one of your videos, one of your songs.
Yeah, we should.
I already know you're gonna be a fan favorite, man. You was dropping gems on everybody. It's okay to just be a dude, just to be a gal, but I mean, you got an important story, so just go out there and make art. So
just dudes can be special, and just dudes are special in people's lives every day. And I think it's important to kind of get that out, because we think we have to be this celebrity. Make a community of people who fuck with you, who fuck with the real you. That's what's important.
No doubt, man. Y'all be easy. It's another episode of Initially Awkward here with Max Dena. We appreciate you. Till next time,
me, brother.
Be easy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sitting in dark, who would've known that the deepest fear is stuck in the mirror when you're alone and you're never ready. Who really cares? You gotta go, cause somebody else needs you to move so they can grow. Went from running from my fears to a sit down. Went from dodging all my dreams with a hit now. Tired of talking about these dreams, trying to build something. It's all initially awkward, I get the sense now. Pull up, talk to me, only need one. One thought can change the whole way you seeing something. I was struggling with doubt, trying to hide gifts.